In the spirit of our 1-year wrap-up series, I want to bring you guys something cool in the form of another travel nurse takeover. Hey everybody, welcome back to No Ordinary Path. I'm John. Thanks for tuning in today. As we've kind of been doing this series, it's been fun to look back on a year of RV travel and RV living and all the things that we have experienced thus far. But I also wanted to speak a little bit to what it means to be 1 year as a travel nurse. How has this affected me? How have I felt about it? And I'll be honest, straight off the bat, this really has not changed my practice much. In my opinion, the nursing is the same. The patients are the same. The pathophysiology is the same. Mostly the treatment is the same, that kind of stuff. So in terms of travel nursing, surprisingly to me, the patient care really isn't that much different. Sure, there's different computer systems. There's different pumps. There's specific medicines some places like more than others. Okay, so what is different? And for me, that's the skill set of working with people. That's what travel nursing is about. Travel nursing for me is about going in, working with different people, and how can I do the best, be the best nurse that I can be while doing that. So as I thought on the year, I wanted to come up with some tips, some tricks maybe, or maybe just some general advice on how to be the best travel nurse that you can be based on my perspective of this whole last year. Be nice to your respiratory therapist. All across the country, I've been on both coasts. I've been in the south, I'm in the north, I've been all over. The RTs are drastically understaffed everywhere. It is the same for them. We know that there's a nursing shortage. Everyone talks about it. There is an RT shortage too. Be nice to those people. Give the NEMs for them if you can. Just do what you can to be nice for them because they have a hard job that is often more than we think it is as nurses sometimes, and they work their butt off too. So be nice to your respiratory therapist. Show up to work early. And what I mean by that is don't get there like 30 minutes before you can clock in. No. Get there at the earliest that you can clock in. Walk in, sit down, and talk to some of the people that are also there early. Don't just walk in and start playing on your phone. I know that's easy. Travel nursing is a lot about getting out of our comfort zone, working with other professionals. And if you want to do that and you want to do it successfully, you have to talk to them. So that's one tip. Get there early, talk to the staff. Answer your call lights before your techs can. If you are lucky enough to work on a unit that has nurses' aides or PCTs or CNAs or whatever they're called different things, different places. It's just going to say techs at this point in time, but that's who I'm talking about. If you have techs, I have been one for years and years before nursing school. It's a hard job too. My general tip is, especially for me in the ICU, I've worked in places where there are no techs, and I've worked in places where there are techs. I try to act and sort of pretend like I don't have them. So I work to get my blood sugars. I work to turn my patients. I work to, empty Foleys and that kind of stuff that are all probably within their job description. But I do it with a heart of I'm trying to make their job easier. Not that I'm trying to take away from it. If they want to do that and they ask for it, they're great. But usually I'll get a blood sugar done and I'll say something like, hey, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got this. Thanks for helping. And you know what almost always happens that I notice? They always end up working harder for you by the end of the day. Learn the names of the people in the cafeteria. Even if you just go down there for like a quick coffee or something simple like that, if you bring your own food, great, good for you. But if you don't and you're there frequently or even every once in a while, learn the names of the people that are making your food. Be nice to them. Bonus, learn something about them and remember it and bring it up with them later. It's amazing how much that will brighten someone's day. And these people, I've also done that in healthcare too, you guys. I've done a lot of things. They don't have an easy job either, and it is very often a thankless job for them. On the same note, learn the names of the people that make the coffee in the coffee shop. If there are baristas and it's kind of a fancy Starbucksy type of place, because some hospitals have that, learn those names, you guys, and thank them, get to know them, that kind of stuff. These people make your food, it's important. Occasionally tip them too. It will be worth your while in the long run. Everyone hates to float, but when it is your turn, do so graciously. Say thank you, smile, even though you may be dying inside. I know what it's like, trust me. Still, say thank you and go and be gracious and do all the same things you would for your home unit on the float unit. And they will remember it. Be that nurse that answers those call lights before everybody else. You know, when your managers or your charge nurses round, your patients, your families are going to want to say, man, that nurse is amazing. Yeah, they're always in here, hourly rounding, blah, 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 report at the bedside, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff, super important, you guys. Be the best that you can for them, even though you don't feel like it because you're floating. But you got to remember, you could have been canceled, which means usually losing your stipends, not just the hourly wage. So be thankful that you're still there, because we don't have that PTO. Use the same report sheet. I've been doing this for 10 years, you guys. Yeah, I can make my own report sheet easily enough, and I have my nice little style. But you know what I've gotten in the habit of after several contracts now? A lot of places and units have their own report sheets. And if you use that, report actually goes faster because people are reading the same boxes that just go down the lines for them. In addition, if you take report maybe for someone else, you can just give them the sheet and they know what to read. Or if you have to switch assignments, you can give them the sheet. You're staying there, you can take it back the next day. It's an easy, simple tip to get used to. And the staff actually will appreciate it. This is super important and a huge tip. So remember this one. Once you're caught up with your meds, with your charting, with your rounds and everything like that, before you walk over to sit at the desk and check mail, look at your phone, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, don't. Walk around first and ask everyone there, do they need anything? Do you need help with a turn? Something need to be emptied? Do you need a med pass? Do you need anything? How can I help you? A lot of times, you guys, people are going to be like, nah, I don't need anything. Even when they may need something, they may just want to. I'm one of those guys, if somebody asks me, most of the time I want to do it myself. I want to do my own stuff. And that you'll get that a lot. People aren't always going to ask for things, but they will always remember that you asked them if they needed it first. When you're done with your shift, if you get done quickly, if you have a fast report or it's, some nurse is back and you can just hand off really, really quickly, so you're done early, we all want to get out of there at the same time. Everybody wants to go home early. Walk around, and even if they're in the middle of a report, just lightly say, hey, can I do anything to help you get out of here faster? That will mean so much to people. They're almost always going to say, no, man, no. But they may, hey, can you empty the Foley in bed 5? Or, hey, can you just go tell the family that we'll be there in 5 minutes? Or can you answer that call light or see what they need real quick? Guys, it's going to maybe be 5-10 minutes. And if honestly you get done super early, it may be too early for you to clock out anyway. So you're just going to be sitting there on the phone waiting for the time to roll. You could be helping somebody, and those coworkers, I guarantee you, will remember it. They will remember it, you guys. It is so important. I try to do all this stuff. I am not a perfect nurse. I have rough days too, where all I want to do is get the heck out of there and not talk to anybody, and I have been floated so many times. I'm sick of it. It happens. We all have rough days. Nobody is perfect. But I've gotten significant bonus offers to stay at hospitals, and this is some of the stuff that I try to do. All right, there's one more. You've got to have and find yourself, for the lack of a better term, a badass recruiter. And importantly, you have to have a badass agency that recruiter works for so that they can be the best that they can be. I wanted to describe this for you to give you an example of what that means, because you've heard me say it before, you guys. I love my recruiter. I love my agency that I work with. I work with Atlas, and I talk about them a lot. But these are the things and the reasons why. Quick backstory. The contract that I'm in currently has a 36-hour cancellation policy. I have 36 hours, basically 3 shifts in my entire contract that they can cancel me for. Now they've done that, but they've kind of spaced it out over 4 days, total. And so I got into a shift this week where they low census me for basically like 8 hours and then called me back and they said, hey, we want to cancel you for the rest of the shift. And I said, well, I've got 2 hours. I only had 10 hours left of this guarantee policy. And long story short, she's like, well, you can come in for an hour and a half, I guess, and I'm like, well, where I'm at right now is 40 minutes from the hospital. I don't really want to do that. She's like, well, then you're just going to take the low census? Okay. And that was kind of how it ended. And I'm like, I feel a little, that was kind of sketchy. Anyway, so I told my recruiter about it. And this is just, I'm going to kind of paraphrase what she said, but basically she's like, I'm going to double check on these hours for you. They should be guaranteed, and you will get paid for those, and you should also get your per diem and the stipend for that day, and it should not be prorated since you technically were supposed to be working. I'll be honest, even if she goes to bat for me and loses and is not able to get that stuff for me, she won me right there. That's the kind of stuff that's what a badass recruiter does, you guys. They go for you. Yeah, I could have just let it go. It was 2 hours. It does hurt, the stipends. When you lose the stipends, it's not about the hourly wage, it's about the stipends. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Thank you for being here and listening to this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can apply some of these things to your practice. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the like button, hit that bell for notifications, and we will catch you next time.